Welcome, Amy.
Hi.
For anyone that doesn't know, perhaps you can just start by saying which department you work in and what you do.
Yeah, so my name's Amy Richardson. I work in the digital transformation team. One of my main parts of my role is to look at us as a company, our processes, our technologies, and see if there's any gaps or opportunities to make us more efficient using technology.
Sounds great. I love that title.
Was it supposed to just be a title?
I don't know, but that sounds like a great title.
Okay.
So, I like on that subject. How up to date are you with technology, or is it more about the tools that we've got now that you can deploy, or have you got any interest in technology? Have you, or like I say, is it more about the tools that we've got?
A little bit of both, really. I think for me, what I find the most interesting part is like the business analytical side of things, where you're reviewing the process and then seeing what technologies are out there that can help either drive a particular process or improve on it. So I am fairly up to date with the technologies that are out there and what sort of the up and coming things. But for me, it's more around the process side of things, trying to make that slicker. And then the technologies kind of run in tandem alongside it, really.
That's interesting. You know, Tim and I in Synergy, that's what he was originally taken on as a BA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So there you go.
Little fun fact. I'll be reminding of Tim that when he...
Oh yeah, yeah. No, he's very good at it. Probably helps him do what he does now.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but I mean, he'd probably be a great person to talk to.
Yeah.
For a bit of, I don't know, camaraderie. You've been doing what you've been doing now for a couple of years, and I've seen a very sort of lengthy but now successful rollout of Synergy Cloud. But in that time of you doing that role, and maybe not even that role, because you've been with us for quite some time in quite a few different departments, so you've got a really good overview of what the business does. Is there anything in like what you've done in that period of time or what you're doing now that stands out as that's something you're sort of really proud or really pleased you've been involved in? Or have I just stolen your thunder and said the transformation? Oh, sorry.
So yeah, obviously the rollout of Synergy Cloud has been probably one of the biggest achievements of my time at CCG. It's been quite monumental, really, in terms of change. I think we've taken like the best part of 3 years to get everything sort of over the other side and into the progressive side rather than the migratory side. But I think the best is yet to come, right? With all of the now moving it and driving it forward and moulding it into something that's really revolutionary is the exciting part. But the actual getting it over the line is probably the
I love that. And you know what? You've got absolute good reason to feel proud about that, because that project was, to be fair, much harder than I thought it would be.
It turned into a bit of a beast, didn't it?
Yeah, but you know, in retrospect, it's a business that we, started in the 90s and has grown organically. So there's a lot to unpick. But the fact that now the business is running on Synergy Cloud, not only is transformation, so you should be proud of that. It's not only just transformational for the business, it really does, like you say, put us on the point of a springboard. Because I don't know of many businesses in our industry that have that technology. So that Synergy Cloud may not do exactly what everyone wants it to do for now, but that's like, that's more about configuration and user, right? Which in time can get better, but the point is that we've now got that across the business, and that you're right. This is like almost the starting point.
This is the start of it. Yeah.
I love the way you see that, because that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And it's exciting.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
There's so much potential there, and there's already obviously we've still got the tail end of some of the PCD stuff, but we're already now starting to do the more progressive points. There's some really big things coming in the next couple of releases, actually.
Is there anything you can talk about? Any examples?
There's quite a significant amount of changes we're doing to some of the surveyor piece with how they generate reports, get information into us. So that's coming in the next couple of weeks, which will be really exciting. Obviously, we're doing lots of work on the AI stuff at the moment as well, things like customer sentiment, but then trying to reverse engineer some of that as well. So we're not only finding the bad stuff, but also the good stuff as well.
So I understand what you're talking about, customer sentiment, but is there a little bit you can touch on that?
Yeah, so it's using sort of AI prompts to highlight or flag any potential dissatisfactions or grumblings, or even just the slightest bit of negative terminology to flag through to our handlers, so we can be more proactive with keeping that claim on the right path without it sort of ending up into something that could generate a complaint.
So basically trying to forecast what could be a complaint before it is a complaint, so we can make sure it doesn't turn into a complaint. And one of the things that I was chatting to with another guest was the ability of being able to not just forecast things, but actually having the right data there to be able to automate information going out to customers in the first place. So that actually prevents any necessity, that really takes away the potential of any complaint, because you're dealing with solving the customer's problem before they're asking for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can start bringing in the prediction side of it, can't you? To sort of preempt what's the next thing that's about to happen here, rather than
especially as we've got so much data.
Reactive. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's fascinating. I completely agree. I think there's so much that we can do, and it seems to be a theme that everyone's come with a different viewpoint. And I was chatting with someone else, and they were talking about how, using technology, not even the extent that we're talking about, enabled them to just be able to spend more time in the call centre, because they work in accounts, spend more time in the call centre chatting to the advisors and being proactive, rather than just trying to spend days doing this one process.
Yeah. I think a lot of it now, there's a lot of the paper pushing side of things, what I like to call it, the sort of real admin sides. If we can allow the system to do that, you're releasing that resource to driving better service in general, and allowing the handler to get on with managing the claim in a more proactive way than we've been used to, where we can sort of the system can be preempting. You might want to check this, or check on this particular supplier, or we maybe want to look at this claim in a bit more detail. You're allowing the handling and the parts where you do need a bit more of a human touch. There's so much now that a system can just do, but there's some things that are just way too complicated and need a mind.
And not even complicated. There's some, especially in the industry that we're in, some of it is so emotive, it's so emotionally driven, that it might just be simple, but it just might need someone just being on the phone and listening to a customer because they want to talk about it. So, it's just how you integrate, combine, I suppose freeing the time up of great people to become, give them that platform to be that person. And actually, I think people probably end up enjoying their job more, because they feel like they're adding more value.
Well, if you can see that you've got, 5 or 10, 20 calls even in some busy periods waiting in a queue, you want to be getting someone off the phone as quickly as possible to service the next one. Whereas if the system can deal with all of the general updates and do all of the sort of manual side of things, it would reduce the inbound traffic anyway, but it does mean it allows the handlers that extra bit of time where they need to speak to somebody that needs it.
And you can tell you clearly worked in a lot of places in the business, because you spoke like that with absolute authority as someone's been on the phones.
Yeah, definitely. It's interesting though to have worked in so many different areas. I've got a much more sort of broader bird's eye view of things that, if you're talking to an individual that's only worked in one particular area, you can become a bit tunnel-minded on things. When
I think it's
I'm
just
a
human
little bit
nature.
more ambitious with it, and I'm like, well, I think much bigger than that.
I think it's just having that ability. Just if you have worked in those different departments, you can see a wider picture.
And
sure. trying to fix a problem much wider is not necessarily fixing that little bit there.
Yeah.
You have to, so in a lot of industries, especially claims industries, the insurance industry, people don't necessarily start off wanting to be in that role. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm guessing that might not have been yourself. It definitely wasn't for me.
No. Not at all.
What are you planning? Because you've been here for a while now, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I've been here nearly 9 years now.
Yeah.
So when I was really little, I always wanted to be a vet.
Oh.
Until I realised you had to put them down.
Oh my gosh!
And
so you're like Scarlett, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I mean, I'd still squash a fly or something. But once I realised that you had to do that, I was like, no, I can't do that. So I then started pursuing becoming a farrier. So I've got horses, so putting shoes on. But at the time, it was a really, really male-dominated world, really hard to get into. So as soon as I left college, I moved to Germany and went and worked with show jumpers.
Oh wow!
Touring around Europe for a long time.
So have you always been like into horses?
Yeah. I've been riding since I could walk. Really, my mum was chucking me up on horses. So, and then I quite badly broke my leg.
On a horse?
Falling off a horse, yeah. So that sort of stopped everything for quite a while for me.
Stopped because you didn't want to get on a horse, or stopped because you couldn't, because
my leg, my leg was in cast for about 9 months, I think it was. Yeah, it was a long time, but no, I did get straight back on horses. And then I thought, well, it was quite a long recovery, so I couldn't get straight back into being on my feet for sort of the best part of 12 hours a day. And the job came up here, so I thought, nice little stopgap, and still here 9 years later.
Do you still ride?
Yeah, still got my own horses, yeah.
Scarlett's just got obsessed with horses at the moment.
Good luck.
Yeah, I'm trying to steer her off of that, but we ended up going to a couple of different places.
It'll be embedded as soon as that first interaction
we
has
went
happened.
horse riding in the summer.
Yeah.
And then went to another place where they didn't have horse riding, but we ended up getting a horse and carriage.
Oh yeah.
So we got 2 Shire horses and went down the lanes in Devon in this carriage.
Oh gosh. The damage is done now, though. You know that. You just screwed yourself over there.
I can see that.
It's happening.
Clearly, it doesn't stop either. Like.
No.
Oh, that's lovely. I can ask this question about the business, or I could ask it about the industry. But if you had a magic wand and you could change anything, as I say, industry, business-wise, what would it be?
I think it is all about the process of it in itself. It's such a long-winded and sometimes really complicated process with something that generally should be quite linear. You make your claim for whatever reason, you provide your information, someone reviews it, and then that's the end of that. But there always seems to be so much jumping through a bit of a hoop, or there's a bit of a deviant off here, and it also and that's not even just in a home insurance claims. It's any type of claim. I mean, I've been going through one myself actually with one of my dogs, and again it's like it shouldn't be this complicated, especially I think obviously working in the industry, I'm like, why is this so complicated? And I think that creates then off the back of that a lot of stigma from the end user's side to be like, oh well, insurance companies, they just want to decline your claim. And actually it couldn't be any further from the truth. You do obviously there are lots of limitations in some policy wording, which is in reality down to the end user to make sure they've got the cover for them. But so make the process much smoother, transparent, slicker, which I think will help drive the right stigma from the end user.
It's really interesting because I think the industry we're in is really hard for that reason that you said. The customer's starting point is, you know what, they're out to get me.
They're going to decline.
And so there's friction right at the very beginning. Not friction, but there's an expectation. And I suppose if we then fail on the service at any simple point, then that's just going to, create more sort of alienation for that customer. So, I mean, I totally agree. Like, just to be able to I think you also said it, transparency is how do you, you know, as an industry, as an insurer, as a claims business, you know, how can we be more transparent? And it is complicated, right? Because
it can be at times, but I think there's some. I think the way that we deal with things, I guess it's the high pressures. You've got to get things done as quickly as possible, so you don't have the time to sometimes necessarily sit on what can sometimes be quite a difficult call for 10, 15 minutes trying to explain something to somebody. But I always remember I was declining a claim once, which is never an easy or nice thing to have to do, even though you do it sort of, you know, do it all day long. And it was a general wear and tear of some roof tiles, I think it was even, and it was really clearly just a wear and tear issue. And I remember her saying, you're declining it because that you're told to do that. And I'm like, it actually makes no difference to me. I would get paid the same whether I declined it or approved it, but it physically it can't be done. And I mean, but I think it also depends on what type of insurance it is, though, right? Because if you wouldn't go to your car insurance and ask them to pay for some new tyres for you, would you?
No,
do you know what I mean? But it's the same thing for, but I guess it's the expense side, isn't it? You know, some claims are much bigger.
If it's people's homes as well, it is very personal.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's the biggest investment of their lives,
exactly.
Isn't it, in reality?
Yeah. No, that's really good. Right. Okay. So look, there's one more question, which is around, and I've no idea. Some of them are really random. But I'm going to let you pick it, and we're both going to answer it.
Here we go. Let's go deep. Would you rather have to fight one elephant-sized mouse or 100 mouse-sized elephants?
Hold on. I need to get my dyslexic brain around that. One elephant-sized
mouse or 100 mouse-sized elephants?
One elephant. Well, I'm going to fight an elephant-sized mouse. An elephant, yeah.
A mouse the size of an elephant?
No, it's an elephant the size of a mouse. Isn't it?
So would you rather fight one elephant-sized mouse?
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Or 100 mouse-sized elephants?
Oh my God, that's so random. I'm going to go for the one mouse, right? Because I have no idea why. Because it's one and not 100.
Because it's one.
And I think that, you know, in numbers, you're going to, you know, numbers, teamwork is going to be more powerful than one big thing. I reckon you can outrun.
How many tons is an elephant? It's got to be a couple of tons, surely.
I don't know, but I can tell you that a whale's tongue, I think, is the weight of 3 elephants.
Good to know.
Like,
so a third of a whale tongue, that's fine.
I might be body swerving the question there, but that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
What about you?
I think I'd rather 100 mouse-sized elephants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know it's not a mouse, it's an elephant. I quite like elephants, so 100 little ones might be quite cute.
Unless they're all firing peanuts at you through their trunks.
That's true.
Who thought of these questions? Anyway, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.